All right, this is the second part of 2.1. This one is writing a system of equations. We're just going to go through writing them. We're not actually going to solve them yet. We're going to do that at a later time. So this first problem, a group of friends purchased tickets for the movies. Tickets cost $5 for adults and $3 for students. They spent a total of $82. How many adult tickets and student tickets were purchased? So with these problems, one thing you want to make sure you read the directions. We have to identify what our variables are. This one is asking us to find two different things. How many adult tickets and then student tickets. The questions are typically going to tell you what your variables need to represent. So one of them needs to be the number of adult tickets. The other one is going to tell us the number of student tickets. Those are our two variables. Then if we look through, there's going to be different information that the problem gives us. If there's something labeled with units, those are typically all going to go in one equation together. So if we look, the ticket cost for adults, $5, $3 for students, and then they spent a total of $82. Those three values, all are working with money, are all going to go in the same equation. So if we know the total amount spent, if we were looking for just the amount spent on adult tickets, we would take the cost for the adult tickets times the number of adults, which was X. So 5X would give us the amount of money spent on adult tickets. Then if we're looking for the amount of money spent on student tickets, we would take the cost, $3, times the number of student tickets, which is Y. And we know that when we combine those two together, it's going to give us the total spent of $82. Meaning when we write our equation, we will have 5x plus 3y equals 82. Now we only have one equation. A system of equations means you have to have two or more. This one we're going to write 2 because the only other information they give us is that a group of 18 friends purchased tickets. So that means the number of adult tickets and the number of student tickets combined will add up to 18, giving us our second equation. Okay. The next two are very similar, so you should pause and try to do these ones on your own, and then hit play if you want to check your answers. So for this one, a musical sells 150 tickets. Adult tickets cost $12 and children tickets cost $8. The theater earned $1,500 in revenue. How many adult and children tickets were sold? So again, the question at the end is going to pretty much tell us what our variables need to be. For this one, X I'm going to use again for the number of adult tickets. And this part is graded. So if you don't write what your variables mean, you will lose some points. And if you know what you're doing, you want to make sure you write this down so you can get full credit. Okay, so X is the number of adult tickets and Y is the number of children's tickets. So again, if I'm looking at the labels, we have a $12, $8, and then $1,500. Those are all going to be in one equation. They all have the same units. So each adult ticket was $12 and we bought X adult tickets. To find that total cost, we would put 12 times X or 12X, and that will give us the amount spent on just the adults. For the children's tickets, those cost $8 each. So we're going to take the 8 times the number of children's tickets that were sold, or 8Y. To get our total, we need to add 12X plus 8Y. That will give us our total of 1,500. Then the last thing is that the musical sold a total of 150 tickets. They only sold adult tickets and children's tickets, meaning that those two values, when we add them together, X plus Y, will equal 150. So these two equations are your answer. Eventually we will solve them, but for now we're just focusing on writing the equations. Okay, next. A store sells two types of pens. One costs $2 each and the other $3 each. A customer buys a total of 15 pens for $37. How many of each type of pen did the customer purchase? So this one, we have 2 pens. So I'm just going to label it pen number 1 and then pen number 2. Total. All right. So we know one costs $2 and one of them costs $3. And they spent a total of $37. So pen number 1, I'm going to use that one being $2. So $2 times the number of pens. So it'd be 2x. And then plus the 3 times our second pen, 3y, equals, and we spent a total of $37. So it would be equal to that 37. We want to keep all the dollar units together in one equation. And then the last piece of information we haven't used, they bought a total of 15 pens. So the number of pen number 1 plus pen number 2 together would add up to 15. We will go over solving these later, but for now, that's all you need to do on this section, even on that section of the homework. Let me know if you have any questions.